I think I remember we were talking, Sarah, a few weeks ago, and one of the things you mentioned about systems that you've used and Factorial in particular was is not so much the system's great, but it's the onboarding, the customer service that comes
Mhm.
after, and making sure that there's no teething problems.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think you really want a great onboarding experience. You want a great project manager or onboarding manager who's going to guide you through, give you the training, so some of the really obvious things, but make sure that you feel you've got 100% confidence. It's a big thing for a HR person to be launching new tech, and no one is ever going to be as excited about it as you are, which is sad, like because you've lived and breathed this new HR system, and you want everyone to love it as much as you, and then they're never going to love it as much as you. But you want them to really enjoy using it and you want them to see the value in doing so. So you really need to get that through in the onboarding experience as well to make sure that you're unlocking all of the features and all of the things that you want to do with it. So we had a really great onboarding experience with Factorial. We had weekly calls going through the different kind of areas of the system to make sure that we were comfortable, and all the way through just kind of supporting like the data migration and going live. And we now have a customer success manager. Quite often with HR platforms or any kind of technology platform, you'll only get a customer success manager if you're paying over a certain value.
Yeah.
So we've got a customer success manager who we meet with every other week. I think that will gradually go down. We'll wean ourselves off her. But at the moment, we're kind of tapping into her in terms of like, we want to do this now. Like, can you help us build this workflow? And can you help us build this SQL report so we can get all this information out of the system? So the support, the ongoing kind of aftercare support is really important to
Yeah.
make sure
Good.
that you are getting maximum value out of the system. So it's been a nice surprise in terms of like how good the onboarding was, but that we've got a customer success manager like on hand really, and she let us choose the frequency of how we wanted to meet. So with other platforms, it's like, well, you're not as big a customer, so we're going to maybe meet with you once a year or twice a year or once a quarter. Whereas we were able to choose like how often is it that we want to meet. So that was put in our hands, which was really good with Factorial, because I was kind of expecting them to say to us, "Oh, we'll check back in with you in 3 months' time or 4 months' time," and we've had the opportunity to meet with them every couple of weeks to make sure that we're getting the value out of the platform. So it's been a nice surprise.
It's like what I was
Brilliant.
saying at the top of the show. If you don't implement the solution correctly in the first place, then it's not going to give you the value. You're going to end up moving on. And I think in this day and age, organisations like Factorial and Factorial haven't been in the market so long, right? But they're a unicorn. They've grown really, really quickly. They obviously place a huge amount of emphasis on customer care and customer support, and that helps from their perspective the lifetime value of that client because the client stays with them for a lot longer. They get a happy journey. So it's in everybody's best interest to get the level of support that Sarah's receiving from Factorial, which is a great thing they're doing because a lot of solution providers really fall short in that area where they'll get somebody up and running, they'll get them subscribed to an annual fee, get them implemented, they're live, and yeah, we'll check in
Oh
again
yeah,
in
that's
6 to 12
so
months.
common. And then you're not
Yeah.
sticky. And I think you said before, Rob, as well, you don't want to be swapping out systems every year or even every 2 years, because
Yeah,
all that value add time you got back into your team to not be doing admin work, you're then going to expend on doing another system integration or, system
exactly.
launch. So you really, they want to keep you sticky. So if you've got good customer care, it's going to mean you're a sticky customer, which is good.
It's
I,
You
I
less
don't want
think,
burden on their support team as well, right?
yeah.
to.
If you're not getting the value that you need from the platform or you're currently facing headaches, then you're going to be a pain in the neck to their
Yeah.
Yeah.
support team. So it's either I think when somebody goes into a relationship with a technology solution provider, you are not just buying technology, you are buying into a partnership, and that partnership needs to be with an organization that understand you, they care about you, and they want to keep you happy for a long period of time, because that is what everybody's end goal is here, is to create a harmonious technology customer relationship, and that requires the kind of commitment and effort that Factorial are putting into their relationship with AccessPay.
Yeah. I think what we are seeing as well is gone are the days of big long contracts, sign people up for 5 years and then forget about them. We've got our money. Whereas shorter rolling contracts where they have to make sure their customer service, their customer success teams are on point so that that company renews.
Yeah,
And so there's certainly been a shift in those smaller players coming into the market.
yeah, I
Um,
agree.